and gentlemen, Brian Cadd.
Brian Cadd emerged onto the Australian music stage in 1966 when he joined the group.
First song I ever wrote was Woman You're Breaking Me. I'd never written a song, I had no idea how to do it, and it became this huge hit. I was like, God, how long's this been going on?
In 1967, the group won Hoadley's National Battle of the Sounds and went to England to try their luck. In '69, they split.
It was almost entirely a case of being thrown headlong from a little tiny puddle to this enormous ocean.
Back in Australia, Brian and Don Moody put together Axiom specifically for another crack at the English scene. First came Arkansas Grass.
We all were fairly incensed about Vietnam, and I really wanted to write a protest song. I thought I would combine it metaphorically with the uselessness of the American Civil War.
A little ray of sunshine.
The one I was happiest about as a song was probably A Little Ray of Sunshine.
Because I remember that morning particularly well, when he woke up and he said, Mum, you'll have to hold breakfast. I've got something running through my mind.
However, in the UK, group success once again eluded Brian.
It was really only that we'd outgrown each other.
Back in Australia again, Brian continued to work with Don Moody, and they had hits together, including Show Me the Way.
It wasn't written because either of us are particularly religious. We would be just as likely to write songs about bulldozers.
By mid-72, Brian had joined forces with Ron Tudor to set up the famous Bootleg Records, releasing other artists as well as Brian's solo efforts. And then came Brian Cadd, spending 20 weeks on the charts and being named Best Male Vocal Album for 1972. For the first time, an Australian singer-songwriter had broken through in a big way.
The only way we can become international competitors is to initially, perhaps, let's not lay on the kangaroos and the koala bears on them first up.
Also in '72, Brian won the Tokyo International Songwriters Contest with Don't You Know It's Magic, sung for him by John Farnham.
For an Australian song to even get accepted, apart from being aired, to get accepted is a great honour.
In '73, his second album, Parabram, won his second consecutive Best Male Album award and opened the door for his own TV show. By this stage, Brian was a bona fide, real, red-blooded pop star.
You touch him, did you?
Yes.
What was it like?
Beautiful.
Then in '74 came Moonshine, Brian's third award-winning work, delivering one of his signature tunes that's been recorded by over 70 artists worldwide. But by later that year, Brian decided to once and for all go for it internationally. So he moved to LA and recorded 2 albums for Capitol Records. It was then he met artists who were interested in him as a writer.
People would work in the studio with you, and then they'd say, oh, by the way, I'm playing next week on such and such album, and they're looking for a song like this, you know what? And I'd say, oh, well, well, I got a song for you.
In 2002, Brian's career came full circle when he was part of the lineup of Long Way to the Top, which ended its run in Melbourne, where it all began.
The legendary Brian Cadd.